On August 31st, 2014, countless images are posted on Reddit. Not just any photos, but nude images. And not just from anyone, these were photos of actresses, models, singers, and athletes. Images never meant for public viewing. In just 24 hours, the subreddit gained over 100,000 subscribers. The images spread rapidly, reaching millions of viewers. Jennifer Lawrence's photos were shared the most. At the time, she was one of Hollywood's highest-paid actresses, with the Hunger Games movies propelling her to superstardom. For a brief period, her Wikipedia page was overwhelmed with traffic. This is the Google search trend for her name right after the leak. Some celebrities denied the authenticity of the photos, while others desperately tried to stop their spread. Reddit banned the subreddit a week later, but it was too late. Websites hosting the leaks emerged everywhere. Celebgate dominated headlines for weeks, and online, the leak's grim notoriety persisted. Everyone wants to know who is responsible and how they got hold of all these photos. The hunt for the perpetrators begins.
When the hacking thing happened, it was so unbelievably violating that you can't even put into words. I think that I'm still actually processing.
Warning. This video contains themes of digital sexual violence and non-consensual sharing of intimate images and videos. 4chan is a massive internet forum, a cornerstone of the web. Anonymity, rickrolling, and lolcats all originated there. 4chan hosts so-called boards on every imaginable topic, from anime to video games, technology, and literature. Users can post anonymously, leading to the sharing of pornographic and extremist content as well. By 2014, 4chan had over 2 million monthly users. At the end of August, intimate photos of well-known personalities suddenly appeared on the forum, days before the subreddit existed and weeks before Celebgate. But who posted them? The traces lead deeper into the internet. AnonIB is another forum, similar to 4chan, but primarily used for sharing pornographic images. Users often post nude photos of their ex-girlfriends, which is illegal. In Germany, this can lead to up to 3 years in prison since the end of 2021. On August 26th, a user on AnonIB claimed that some members had scored a major win, not ordinary nudes, but those of a celebrity. And not just any star, but the biggest at the time, Jennifer Lawrence. I mean explicit videos and photos. See for yourself. I don't have them, but everyone says they're real. Initially, many users were skeptical. Fake photos and scammers are common in this scene. But as more and more photos of celebrities appeared, doubts began to fade. Some users started offering these new photos for trade or sale. Among the buyers were collectors who saw a chance to make big money off the images. They invested and bought numerous sets from other users, later offering these large collections for sale on AnonIB and 4chan. As teasers, they sometimes posted screenshots of their desktops. One user claimed to have over 60 photos of Jennifer Lawrence, including a video of her. But for most, the plan didn't work out. In one post, a user who later became known as Original Guy complained, "People want the stuff for free. I earned $120 in Bitcoin, but considering how much time and money I've invested, I haven't earned nearly as much as I hoped." Many users got caught up in the gold rush surrounding these images. In the end, no one got rich because on August 31st, 2014, one of these individuals decided to upload the entire collection of nude photos to 4chan for free. It might have been Original Guy, or perhaps another collector. A day after the leak, Original Guy made a public post. He claimed he wasn't primarily responsible for stealing the images or leaking them. Instead, he said it was the result of months of hard work by many people. But could that be true? Let's take a closer look at this post. Some guys on /Saint/ are supposedly responsible for the major win. It's time to dive even deeper. The term refers to a subforum on AnonIB, a gathering place for a small group that includes 5 men. They all live in the USA and are in their 20s or 30s. Among them is a teacher from Virginia, a customer service worker from Chicago, a bank employee from Connecticut, an e-commerce employee from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, who is married with 2 children, and a 29-year-old from Chicago who still lives with his parents. They all share a specific interest: stealing and trading intimate images of celebrities. They don't sell or publicly publish the photos, but exchange them only among themselves, usually via email or other private means. Entry into this exclusive circle requires presenting a new stolen nude photo. This group has been active for years, feeling secure enough to openly discuss techniques for obtaining intimate images of celebrities in publicly visible threads. After the leak, it quickly became apparent that the photos were taken from the women's private smartphones. Many of the images were captured with iPhones, leading some to initially suspect a security flaw in Apple's iCloud. With iCloud enabled, all your photos, whether of your lunch, your dog, or yourself, can be automatically stored online. Actress Kirsten Dunst was among those who suspected an iCloud vulnerability. She tweeted the day after the leak, "Thank you, iCloud." Apple quickly launched an investigation and 2 days later released a statement. Apple's systems were not to blame. Instead, the iCloud accounts of the stars were deliberately targeted and hacked. How? A lot is known about the lives of celebrities. With just a few clicks, we can learn personal details about them, their birth date, their mother's maiden name, or the name of their beloved pet. These answers can be the key hackers need to gain access to an iCloud account with the correct email address, birth date, and answers to security questions. A password can be reset, and the account accessed with little effort, especially if two-factor authentication is disabled. Another technique, extensively discussed in the /s// forum, is phishing. Regular viewers of the forum know the deal. On August 9, 2014, Jennifer Lawrence had trouble logging into her Apple ID for iTunes. She was also experiencing issues with her email account. About a week later, she received an iMessage from the email address appleprivacysecurity@icloud.com that her Apple ID had been used to sign into iCloud on Wednesday, August 20th, 2014, from an unrecognized device located in Moscow. She was given a one-time code. If this was you, please ignore this message. If not, we recommend you change your password immediately for your protection. The message was not from Apple. It was a fake, designed to trick Lawrence into revealing her actual password. Neither Lawrence nor her assistant could recall clicking the link in the phishing email. But shortly thereafter, her most intimate photos were shared with the entire world. U.S. authorities, particularly the FBI, immediately launched an investigation. It took a month before they found a lead. Investigators tracked an IP address used between May 2013 and August 2014 to access over 500 different iCloud accounts, which had been accessed 2,362 times. On October 10th, investigators received customer information associated with the IP address from the internet provider AT&T. The address belonged to Emilio Herrera. 5 days later, agents stormed an unassuming brick house in Chicago's South Side, where the 29-year-old lived with his parents. Some of the accounts Herrera hacked belonged to high-profile women. Investigators only released the initials of the celebrity victims to the public. Based on these initials, it's believed Herrera hacked into the accounts of these women. Sometime later, investigators tracked down 4 additional perpetrators. Edward Mayurczyk used phishing emails with the address Apple Privacy Security iCloud, the same address suspected of being used to deceive Jennifer Lawrence. Mayurczyk, a father of a young child, allegedly accessed around 300 accounts, at least 30 of which belonged to celebrities. Family man Ryan Collins was also linked to the hack of the nude images. Collins hacked into at least 50 iCloud accounts, 18 of which belonged to celebrities. Between 2012 and 2014, he too lived in an unassuming brick house, located on the outskirts of Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Collins's email address, ryan10770@aol.com, was also identified in the investigation. Between November 2012 and September 2014, Ryan Collins sent fake emails pretending to be from Apple or Google to victims, tricking them into revealing their usernames and passwords. Once he gained access, he systematically combed through their iCloud or Gmail accounts, searching for nude photos and videos. Collins had access to over 100 Apple accounts, with at least 18 belonging to celebrities. But Collins wasn't the only one involved. As the investigation continued, more individuals were identified as part of the hacking ring, including George Garofano. Garofano was responsible for phishing around 240 iCloud accounts, many of them belonging to celebrities. He used a similar technique as Collins, sending fake emails that appeared to be from Apple Security, tricking the victims into giving him their login details. Despite the arrests and the unraveling of the hacking group, many questions remained. How were these hackers connected, and did they act alone? It seemed that while some of them knew each other through online forums, they primarily worked independently, motivated by a mix of greed, curiosity, and a desire for recognition within the hacker community. As the investigation concluded, the culprits were charged and sentenced. Ryan Collins received 18 months in federal prison, Edward Majercik was sentenced to 9 months, and George Garofano received 8 months. The repercussions of Celebgate were far-reaching. The scandal exposed serious flaws in digital security, prompting Apple and other companies to enhance their systems. Two-factor authentication became more widely adopted, and there was increased awareness about the importance of securing personal information online. For the victims, the ordeal was traumatic. Many spoke out about the violation of their privacy and the emotional toll it took on them. Jennifer Lawrence called the leak a sex crime and emphasized that those who viewed the images were perpetuating the abuse.
There's not one person in the world that is not capable of seeing these intimate, photos of me. I feel like, I got gangbanged by the fucking planet.
The incident sparked broader discussions about digital privacy, consent, and the treatment of women online. Celebgate served as a grim reminder of the vulnerabilities in our digital lives and the lengths to which some will go to exploit them. Although the hackers were eventually caught and punished, the damage they caused cannot be undone. The scandal remains a dark chapter in the history of the internet, underscoring the need for stronger protections and greater respect for privacy in the digital age.